We are back. We are so back. It's felt like it's been forever since we've had a UFC card. And UFC Denver goes down tomorrow. We're going to be looking at the betting angle of things. I've already given you the official picks for UFC Denver. Now we're looking at the betting angle. I'm going to go through. I went through and looked at every single bet I had on the card that I gave out to the Homo Fight Picks Premium members. And I picked a few. Just a little taste for you. These are the best bets that I could come through. I got you a money line, a parlay, a round prop, and a prop bet. In addition to that, I got you the DFS. If you know, that's probably the best part of the Best Bet show. So, we got Rose Namajunas, Tracy Cortez. Main event, pretty gross. Pretty gross. But let's just get into it, man. Let's just get into it. Best Bets record so far. I'm just completely transparent. So, if you don't like my record, don't take the bets. Just don't take them. But this doesn't include the DFS. This is just the money line, the round props, the parlay, and the prop bet. We're down. We're down minus 4.68 units in total. We've been doing it for 5 weeks. We started off okay, and then we hit a little skid. So maybe we're due. Maybe we're due, but we're transparent here. That's the record so far as the YouTube goes. So let's start off with the money line. We got Damon Blackshear. Damon Blackshear, I believe, should be a slight favorite, if not a pick 'em at worst. Why? Because Damon Blackshear, to me, has had a very tough strength of schedule, and he's looked good in those fights. Where does he have the advantage here against Montel Jackson? It's going to be getting him up against the cage and using his wrestling. Now, that's not exactly the best strategy that I like for placing bets because it seems like ground control and takedowns don't really matter anymore to the UFC judges. But Damon Blackshear has shown a massive lack of an ability to get off the cage. If you look at his fights, when he loses against Brett Johns, against Ricky Simone, he's getting taken down, he's getting controlled. Damon Blackshear, I think, is a better wrestler and grappler than both of those guys. Brett Johns is losing in the PFL now. I don't think he has a win in the PFL. He's not good. Okay? Damon Blackshear has serviceable stand-up. He's pretty decent on the hands, or on the feet, with the hands. And when he gets you to the ground, he is dangerous. So I think Damon Blackshear at plus 125, the underdog here, he's my only money line bet on the card. So I'm giving it to you here. Plus 125 for 1 unit. Damon Blackshear is the money line bet for this week. And I think it probably goes to a decision. And Damon Blackshear wins the first 2 rounds. The cardio is a question, but Montel's going to have to deal with that as well. You know, we're at elevation here, so you always got to take that into account. Damon has looked a little bit slower in the third rounds of a lot of fights, but Montel's going to be at the same pace. So I got Damon Blackshear this week, and we can move on to probably one of the best portions of the Best Bet show. If you already know, if you follow me on Instagram, on all the medias, you know we absolutely crush the Underdog Fantasy app. So if you're in one of these yellow states on the screen here, move down. You are eligible. You are eligible to play Underdog Fantasy. So download the app. Use the code HeyJai for a deposit bonus up to $250. Just take a look at these slips, man. This is 1,000 to turn into 2,000. This is a free square. Last week we had a free square. 2 weeks ago, UFC 303, and we hit a nice little 5-legger there. They give out free squares all the time. So they're giving you a bunch of promotions. It's basically like free money at that point. And we crush it. We absolutely crush it. If you know, you know. And if you don't know and you try, you'll start to know. So here's some plays that you can put on UFC Denver. We got a 25x payout, which we have probably gone 4 for 5 on at least 5 slips this year on these 5-leggers, but we've also hit 2 or 3. So, you really only have to hit 2, 3 a year to be profitable. And we've already hit 2. I think we might have hit 3. Maybe it was a promo. I don't know. But, yeah, that's the big boy right there, 25x payout. And then these are the ones we're more concerned about. 3x payouts, 2-leggers, where if you hit 1, you're even. If you hit 2, you're profitable. If you hit 3, obviously, you're very, very profitable. So, let's just take a look at these. I mean, Josh Van, over. Significant strikes. I think that fight goes the distance, and they rack up a bunch. That's why I got Charles Johnson in there, too. These are in the rivals section. These are what I call point spreads, but they're like significant strike spreads. So they're going to add this amount to our girls here, Tracy Cortez and Maria Agapova, to their significant strike total. They add that many, and if they outstrike their opponent, then we win. There's a big edge in that, in my opinion. And we've actually made a lot of money with that edge. And then one of my favorite plays on the card is Damon Blackshear higher than 1.5 takedowns, man. I think he probably gets that in the first round. Damon's going to be trying to grapple, and I think he should get that pretty easily. So these are what I got. These are also posted in the free Telegram, which the link is down in the description. I'll tell you about that towards the end of the video. If you're not in there yet, absolutely join. It's totally free. It's where I post all the DFS plays. All right, let's go round prop. I got the fight to not go the distance here in the Josh Friend versus Petrosky fight. Sit at minus 165. I got 1.65 units on that to win 1 unit back. The reason being, I think Andre Petrosky is an absolute gas bag, but he is dangerous. He's dangerous in that first round, and Josh Friend has shown he can get finished in that first round. So Petrosky comes out hot, trying to finish Josh Friend. He could do it. But also in that, Josh Friend could finish him because he's not exactly the smartest fighter, nor, neither guys are really that smart. That's why I think they could get finished. But Josh Friend is dangerous with those front chokes, the guillotines. So if Petrosky's looking for takedowns, Josh Friend could lock something up. And then later in the fight, Petrosky's going to be gassed out. And Josh Friend trains at elevation. He will be ready. He will still be there. And he can get a late finish in rounds 2 or 3. So I like this fight to not go the distance, man. It looks like a great play to me. And I hope it cashes. From there, I will tell you that all of my bets are in the Homo Fight Picks Premium membership. Year to date, we're positive 17, just over 17 units. This is where you get every single one of my UFC bets every single week, including the PFL bets, which the card before UFC 303, we went up almost 5 units, nearly swept. Some of those PFL bets are absolute money. So you're not just getting UFC, you're getting a lot of more of MMA, but the UFC is, the highlight of it. So that's where you get it. Homo Fight Picks. The link is down in the description there. You can use my code HeyJive for $5 off. You can join for a week. You can join for a month. You can even join for a year if you wanted to. But that's where you're going to get them all. These are just a little taste. From there, we're going to go to the parlay. This parlay, these parlays have been working pretty well for me. Okay, these overs, these fights that should go to a decision, but you can get them just pair them up. I think these guys, Damon Blackshear and Montel Jackson, have never been finished. Neither guy has ever been finished. If Montel hurts him on the feet, I think Damon's good enough to survive. And on the ground, I think Montel is good enough to survive the submission attempts from Damon Blackshear. So I think this is going to be somewhat of a close fight. I don't see either guy finishing each other, obviously. So I like this fight to go to a decision. And I'm going to pair that up with the women's fight, Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Fatima Klein, to also go to a decision, where Jasmine, I think she's been to 10 out of her 13 fights or something like that, went to a decision. Look, she's not dangerous. She's really not. Her only finish in the UFC was Priscilla Cachoeira, and she barely got her out. She got her there with 9 seconds left, when she should have finished the fight probably 2 rounds before that. She probably should have finished her in the first round. She just doesn't really have any type of crazy submissions. She doesn't have knockout power on the feet. And her ground and pound is okay, but it took her nearly 15 minutes to get Priscilla Cachoeira out of there. Okay, and I think Fatima Klein is a lot better than Priscilla Cachoeira. I think she's, for one, she's young, so she's durable. She has a great ground game. She's not going to get subbed. And I don't think Jasmine's going to get subbed or knocked out either. So I like this fight to go the distance. And I put both of those together. We get plus 120, so we're getting a plus money parlay. We're putting 1 unit on there. So, I always hate betting overs in MMA because it's like betting an under in a football game. You don't want any action. You just want to sit there. You're just like, don't hurt each other. Don't wrap that up. Don't get the neck, type of thing. But sometimes it's just the way to do it. Sometimes it's not sexy, but it's just the way to do it. From there, we move on to the Betr Picks. So Betr Picks is another DFS app. If you live in one of these purple states, you are eligible to play, which we also crush because the DFS is the money makers, boys. Look at these. Money. Absolute money. If you're not in the Telegram, man, you're missing out. You're missing out because I post all these in there. But I'm going to show you the plays this week for Betr Picks. Once again, you use my code HeyJive. You get a deposit bonus up to $250. That link is also in the description. Take a look at these. $50 to win $5,000. This is the 8-legger. 2 weeks ago, UFC Saudi, we went 7 for 8. We almost turned, $50 into $10,000. And we lost that by 15 seconds it was. God, that one still irks me. We're going to hit one of these 8-leggers because we're so damn close. And this week I didn't go with a boosted pick because I didn't really like any of them. So I just went with 8 of the props, and we're going for 50 to win 5,000. A lot of these are pretty similar. But also on Betr Picks, you're going to get different types of numbers. So you got to be line shopping. And that's why I like to use multiple apps. And earlier in the week, they have a lot of these props out earlier than like Underdog would. So these were put in earlier. I think these lines have shifted a little bit, but I still like them. A lot of unders there. And then the overs on takedowns there. And, Charles Johnson over and Santos under. These are all posted in the free Telegram. Links down in the description. I'll tell you about that towards the end of the show. But, these are money as well. Betr Picks has been absolute money, and we hope to continue that. So do not miss out on these plays. I give you the best bets, but these are some big, big money plays. Okay, these are good plays, and you should not miss out on that opportunity. So make sure you join these apps and get these plays down. Plus, you get free money to do it. You get a deposit bonus, you throw it down, and maybe you turn the free money into more money, and we're good. Let's move on to our prop bet. I'm taking Gene Silva, man. Gene Silva. The craziest thing about this. So when this fight got announced, I thought Drew Dober trains at elevation. He's fighting at his normal weight class. Gene Silva just fought 2 weeks ago. Not looking good for Gene Silva. Then you dive into the tape, man. And Gene Silva has the perfect way to beat Drew Dober. Maybe not the perfect. Probably the perfect way was to do what like Islam Makhachev is. Or even Moicano and just take him down and grapple him. Which he could do. But on the feet I'm talking about, Gene Silva, to beat Drew Dober, you have to be fast. You have to be accurate. Because what does Drew Dober do? He just straight down the line. He's going to throw a 1-2 down the middle, and he's going to try to hit you with the big left hand. And Gene Silva has fought southpaws his last 2 fights. Yes, they were Weston Wilson and Charles Jourdain. But Charles Jourdain is a pretty decent striker. And he absolutely destroyed both of them on the feet without a hiccup. You watch those fights, you see his timing with his left hook when guys come in. That is exactly what he's going to do to Drew Dober. When Drew Dober's coming right down the middle, Gene Silva is going to sit there, wing the left hook, catch him with that. And if it doesn't put him out, then Drew Dober's going to get a little bit gun shy. Okay, he's going to try to really land that left hand, that left jab. I should say right hand. The right jab to really try to set it up. And then bang, the right hand from Gene Silva is going to come right down the middle. And he's going to hurt him bad. And if he doesn't knock him out on the feet, he can get the sub because Drew Dober's been subbed multiple times. So that's why I didn't take the KO. I went with the safer route. I took KO or sub because it's not a huge difference in price. Plus 130 for 1 unit. Gene Silva comes in here and gets a finish against Drew Dober. And why am I taking the finish? Because if this fight hits the 3rd round, Gene Silva might not be looking very good. So I like him in the 1st or the 2nd round, but I do like him a lot. I really see the matchup style to where Gene Silva can make Drew Dober look like an elementary striker. I do. So Gene Silva is the prop bet at KO or sub, plus 130 for 1 unit. And lastly, I mentioned it many times throughout the show. Join the free Telegram channel. We're well over 1,200 subscribers right now. It's absolutely free. The link is down in the description. That's where I post all of those DFS plays that I showed you. They are in there. So if you don't, or it'll be easier for you to put those plays in if you download the app and want to put those in. It'll be easier for you to look at it there. We also post the IG Live parlays in there as well. So those are just some DGen parlays, and we've been crushing those. But just take a look at this, man. Just take a look at this. Plus $2,675 profit if you tailed the DFS plays. And those were all given in the free Telegram channel. If you're not joining, I don't know what you're doing. That's what I'll leave you with. Appreciate y'all for watching. The best bets is one of my favorite things to do, and I hope to continue it. I hope you enjoyed. So if you did, like and subscribe. And next week, we got another Apex card. But actually, I'm going to be in Tampa, for the Jake Paul and Mike Perry fight. So that'll be interesting. Also, I got some shiners today at sparring, man. I took my licks. Got a busted lip, too. Hopefully that didn't affect anything. Hopefully the CTE's not setting in early. Because we got to be sharp. But let's hop out of here. Appreciate y'all for watching. Till next time, hey, Jeff Picks.